Morning, children. Hearty welcome to all of you for today's session. Children, in this session, I'm going to explain the last lesson from our supplementary reader, Footprints Without Feet. Lesson 9, Bholi. As you know, I couldn't complete the lesson for batch 2 students. So, let me explain the lesson as a whole in this recorded video. Okay. As I told you, it's a short story written by K.A. Abbas, Khwaja Ahmad Abbas. He was a prominent Indian film director, screenwriter, novelist, and a journalist too. Okay, so now I'm going to give you an introduction to the lesson. The story revolves around a small girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. She is always a target by everyone for not being good looking and intelligent. Her life turns when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where Bholi was to give up acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match. Did you get the sense, children? Later in the story, we can see that circumstances arise where Bholi has to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match, but rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. So the story shows the rise of a girl against social injustice. Okay, so let's begin the lesson. Let me read the first paragraph. Her name was Sulekha, but since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Bholi, the simpleton. She was the fourth daughter of Nambedar Ramlal. When she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the cot on her head and perhaps it had damaged some part of her brain. And that's why she remained a backward child and came to be known as Bholi the simpleton. Okay, so listen. Here, the narrator describes a girl named Bholi. Since her childhood, everyone called her Bholi. What's the meaning of simpleton, children? As I told you, simpleton. What's the meaning of simpleton? Yes, simpleton means a slow learner. It's written in your textbook. What's the meaning given in your textbook? Yes, I shall read it for you. A foolish person easily tricked by others. A foolish person easily tricked by others. So, her name was Sulekha. Since her childhood onwards, everyone had been calling her Bholi the simpleton. She was the fourth child of Nambedar Ramlal. But when she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the cot on her head and perhaps it had damaged some part of her brain. So, what happened to her, children? Yes, she was the fourth daughter of Nambedar Ramlal. When she was about 10 months old, she had fallen off her bed and they thought that it had damaged some part of her brain. That's why she remained a backward child, a slow learner, and came to be known as Bholi the simpleton. At birth, the child was very fair and pretty, but when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox. Only the eyes were saved, but the entire body was permanently disfigured by deep black pockmarks. Little Sulekha could not speak till she was 5, and when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. The other children often made fun of her and mimicked her. As a result, she talked very little. Children, I think I have given you the meaning of pockmarks. What do you mean by pockmarks? Spots on the skin. So, what happened? When she was born, she was very fair and beautiful. Pretty means beautiful. But when the child was 2 years old, she caught smallpox, which left black marks on her whole body. Only her eyes were saved from it. Okay, then little Sulekha could not speak till she was 5. She started speaking when she turned 5. And what happened to her children? Yes, when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. She stuttered. You know what is stammering? Difficult to speak in a fluent way. So the other children made fun of her and mimicked her. You know what's the meaning of mimicking? Imitating. As a result, she talked very little. That means this made her, the other children made fun of her and copied her, imitated her. So this made her feel so bad that she stopped speaking. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Bholi. It was a prosperous farmer's household, and there was plenty to eat and drink. All the children, except Bholi, were healthy and strong. Their sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had already been married. The second daughter, Mangla's marriage had also been settled. And when that was done, Ramlal would think of the third, Chamba. They were all good looking, healthy girls, and it's not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. Okay, so let's see what kind of a family she had. Ramlal, her father. Sulekha's father, or Bholi's father, had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and Bholi was the youngest of them. Ramlal, he was a rich merchant. Okay, it was a prosperous farmer's household. Prosperous means rich. So it was a prosperous family. Ramlal was a rich farmer. He provided the family with good food. Have you seen that? See, here it is. There was plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. What did he do with his sons? Yes, the sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. Then what about the daughters? Radha, the eldest one, had already been married. The second daughter, Mangla's marriage had been fixed. And now it's Chamba, the third daughter's turn. So all of them were good looking and healthy girls. So it's not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. But Ramlal was worried about Bholi. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. So what's going on there, children? So it's a difficult thing for Ramlal, the case of Bholi. Because Ramlal was worried about Bholi. Did you get the reason? Yes, she was not good looking, and at the same time she was not at all intelligent too. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. So the main concern for Ramlal was Bholi. He was too worried about Bholi because neither was she beautiful nor intelligent. So it's not an easy thing to find a bridegroom for her. Okay. Bholi was 7 years old when Mangla was married. The same year, a primary school for girls was opened in their village. The Tahsildar Sahib came to perform its opening ceremony. He said to Ramlal, as a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village, so you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughters to school. So, have you seen the word Tahsildar Sahib? Okay, Tahsildar means district collector. So what happened when she was 7 years old, children? Yes, when Bholi was 7 years old, her elder sister Mangla got married. That same year, a primary school for girls was opened in that village. The Tahsildar, the district collector, visited to inaugurate the school. So the Tahsildar Sahib came to perform its opening ceremony. Then he said to Ramlal, as a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village. So you must set an example to the villagers. So what did he say, children? Yes, he asked Ramlal to send his daughters to school. He encouraged him to do so because he was the revenue official. He was the representative of the government. So he must be an example to the villagers. So this would lead to the education of girls in that village. That night, Ramlal consulted his wife. She cried, "Are you crazy? If girls go to school, who will marry them?" But Ramlal had not the courage to disobey the Tehsildar. At last, his wife said, "I'll tell you what to do. Send Bholi to school. As it is, there is little chance of getting her married with her ugly face and lack of sense. Let the teachers at school worry about her." So, what did he do, children? Yes, after hearing the Tahsildar, Ramlal discussed the matter with his wife. At once, she rejected it by saying that it would become difficult for girls to marry their daughters, marry their educated daughters. So, if they send to school, if girls go to school, who will marry them? So, it would be a difficult problem for them, or it would be difficult for them to marry their educated daughters. So, Ramlal was in trouble. What's the reason? Yes, he had not the courage to disobey the Tahsildar, the district collector. At last, his wife said, "I'll tell you one thing. Send Bholi to school." What's the reason, children? Yes, finally, his wife suggested to send Bholi to school. Because, what's the reason? Because there is little chance of her getting married with her ugly face and lack of sense. So finally, his wife suggested to send Bholi to school because, as they know, Bholi, she, what happened to her children with her ugly face and lack of sense? Nobody would be getting ready to marry her. So let the teachers at school worry about her. So the next day, they decided to send Bholi to school. The next day, Ramlal caught Bholi by the hand and said, "Come with me. I'll take you to school." Bholi was frightened. She did not know what a school was like. She remembered how a few days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house. So, and sold. No, she shouted in terror, pulled her hand away from her father's grip. So, what happened to her children? Yes, the next day, her father, Ramlal, decided to send her to school. "Come with me, I'll take you to school." Polly was frightened. What's the reason, children? Because she did not know what a school was like. She didn't get the chance to go out of her house. But she remembered one thing that happened in her house. She remembered how a few days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house and sold. So, what happened to her children? Yes, she remembered an incident that happened a few days ago. Their age old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house. Their age old cow, it had been sold out. What's the reason? Yes, this is what is the reason, children. Yes, Lakshmi had been sent out of home and her father got money in return for it. So she thought that she too would be sold like a Lakshmi. So she got frightened. Okay. No, she shouted in terror and pulled her hand away from her father's grip. So Vali's father got irritated with her behavior. So, no, she shouted in terror. So, what she was trying to do, she pulled her hand away from her father's grip. So, what's the matter with you, you fool? Shouted Ramlal. So, Ramlal, Vali's father got irritated with her behavior and he shouted that he was taking her to school. Then he told his wife, "Let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us when they see her?" Then what did he do, children? Yes, he told his wife to dress her up because he didn't want others to think ill of him or ill of them. So, yes, let her wear some decent clothes today. The new clothes had never been made for Holi. Did you get the situation, children? Yes. This is what is the first time, or it was for the first time that Bholi got clean clothes to wear. Although it was her elder sister Chamba's worn out dress. See, here it is. The old dresses of her sisters were passed on to her. New clothes had never been made for Bholi. No one cared to mend or no one cared to wash her clothes. But today, she was lucky. She was lucky to receive a clean dress which had shrunk after many washings. You know what's the meaning of shrunk? Shrunk means reduced. So, even if it was a worn out one. What do you mean by children? No one cared to mend or wash her clothes. But today she was lucky to receive a clean dress, which had shrunk after many washings and no longer fitted Chamba. Okay, so that day she was so lucky because she got clean clothes to wear, although it was her elder sister Chamba's worn out dress. Then she was even bathed and oil was rubbed into her dry and matted hair. Matted means untidy, messy hair and tangled hair. Only then did she begin to believe that she was taken or she was being taken to a place better than her home. So, such a treatment made her believe that she was going to a better place than her home. So, only then she was even bathed. Oil was rubbed into her dry and matted hair, and she was lucky to receive a clean dress, no longer fitted chamba. That's why it's given to her. So, she believed that she was going to a better place than her home. When they reached school, the children were already in their classroom. Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress. Left alone, the poor girl looked about her with fear laden eyes. What do you mean by children? Fear laden, full of fear. So, upon reaching school, they found the children were already in their classrooms. So, Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress and left the place. So, when she was left alone, the poor girl looked around with her fear laden eyes. Her eyes filled with fear. It's full of fear. So, she looked around the school with fear laden eyes. There were several rooms, and in each room, girls like her squatted on mats. So, reading from books and writing on slates. So, as I told you, children, what's the meaning of squatted? Squatted means to sit with one's knees bent. Did you get the word squatted? To sit with one's knees bent. K-N-W-S. So, yes. So, when they reached the school, the children were already in their classroom, and Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress of the school, and he left the place. Then, left alone, the poor girl looked about with fear-laden eyes. There were several rooms, and in each room, girls like her sat on mats, reading books and writing on slates. The headmistress asked Holly to sit in a corner in one of the classrooms. Boli did not know what exactly his school was like and what happened there. But she was glad to find so many girls almost her own age present there. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friend. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, she did not know what exactly a school was like. As I told you, she didn't get the chance to move out of her house anymore. So, she did not know what exactly a school. She was not aware of anything about school. Then, what made her happy was that there were so many girls of her age. So she could see, or she was so glad to find many girls almost of her own age present there. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friend. So, what's going on there, children? She thought that she may find a friend among these girls in future. The lady teacher who was in class was saying something to the girls, but Bholi could understand nothing. She looked at the pictures on the wall. The colors fascinated her. The horse was brown, just like the horse on which the Tahsildar had come to visit their village. The goat was black like the goat of their neighbor. The parrot was green like the parrots she had seen in the mango orchard, and the cow was just like their Lakshmi. And suddenly Bholi noticed that the teacher was standing by her side, smiling at her. Okay, children, the lady teacher who was in the class was saying something to the girls. But Bholi couldn't understand anything at all. So, what did she do, children? Yes, she was just looking at the various pictures on the wall, which were beautiful. What's the reason, children? Because the colors fascinated her, the colors attracted her. So, all the pictures Polly was attracted towards them. There was a picture of a brown horse that resembled the horse on which the Tahsildar had visited their village for the inauguration of the primary school. Then there was a picture of a green parrot which looked like the same parrots which she had seen in the orchard. What do you mean by orchard? Not orchard, children. Orchard is the correct pronunciation. A land planted with fruit trees. That is what is orchard. Then there was also an image of a cow that resembled their age old cow Lakshmi. So while she was busy looking at these pictures, she realized that the teacher was standing near her. So suddenly, Bholi noticed that the teacher was standing by her side, smiling at her. What's your name, little one? Bho, Bho. She could stammer no further than that. So, what is going on there, children? Yes, that when the teacher asked her name, she could say properly. She was stammering. Then she began to cry, and tears flowed from her eyes in a helpless flood. She kept her head down as she sat in her corner, not daring to look up at the girls who she knew were still laughing at her. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, Bholi tried hard but stammered. She could only say bho, not Bholi. After this, she began to cry and she did not dare to look up as she was sure that all the other girls would be laughing at her. Then, when the school bell rang, all the girls scurried out of the classroom. But Bholi dared not leave her corner. Her head still lowered. She kept on sobbing. So, what's going on there, children? When school was over, when the school bell rang, that means when the school was over, the teacher came to Bholi and called her name. Have you seen that? Yes, all the girls scurried out of the classroom. All the girls went out of the classroom. Only Bholi was there. She remained in that corner itself. Still, her head was lowered. She kept on sobbing. She kept on crying. Okay? Bholi was still crying with her head down. Bholi, the teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. In all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. Get up, said the teacher. It was not a command, but just a friendly suggestion. Bholi got up. So, the teacher's voice was very soft. Bholi had never been addressed with such affection before. So, she felt so good that it touched her heart. Okay, so get up, said the teacher. It's not a command, but just a friendly suggestion. So Boli got up. The teacher asked, now, tell me your name. Sweat broke out over her whole body. Would her stammering tongue again disgrace her? For the sake of this kind, however, she decided to make an effort. She had such a soothing voice. She would not laugh at her. Bho, she began to stammer. So, what happened to her children? Yes, again she tried to say her name. The teacher tried to make her comfortable by her friendly manner. She asked her name again. Even if Bholi was hesitant and nervous, she tried, and she was at last able to say her name or able to speak her full name. Bho, she began to stammer. Well done, the teacher encouraged her. Come on now, the full name. At last she was able to say Bholi and felt relieved that it was a great achievement, as if it was a great achievement. So, yes, the teacher praised her for her attempt. The teacher encouraged her affectionately. Well done, the teacher patted her affectionately and said, put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone else. Bholi looked up as if to ask, really? Okay, so what's going on there, children? Yes, the teacher encouraged her to say the full name. At last, Bholi tried her level best to say her name fully. Then the teacher patted her affectionately and said, first of all, try to put the fear out of your heart. Put the fear out of your heart. I'm very sure you will be able to speak like everyone else. Bholi looked at her teacher surprisingly, as if to ask, really? Okay. Yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Will you come? Bholi nodded. No, say it loud. Yes. Bholi herself was astonished as she had been able to say it. Now, didn't I tell you? Now take this book. Yes, the book was full of nice pictures, and the pictures were in color: dog, cat, goat, horse, parrot. So, tiger and a cow just like Lakshmi, and with every picture was a word in big black letters. So the teacher at once understood her curiosity and said that she was very sure she was true. What she said was true, and if she come to school every day, she would be able to speak without any problem. So the teacher says, yes, yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Will you come? Polly nodded. You know what's the meaning of nodded? What it is, children? Nodded means bow your head in a direction to give approval. Okay, so bow your head in a direction. So she agreed. Then what did the teacher say? The teacher asked her to speak. Speak up. No, say it loudly. Yes. Bholi herself was astonished. She was also greatly surprised that she had been able to say yes without any problem. Didn't I tell you? Now take this book. Then the teacher gave her one book. The teacher encouraged her to speak, and she asked her to look at the picture or the picture book, and she gave her a book full of pictures of dogs, cat, god, horse, parrot, tiger, and a cow just like Lakshmi. Okay, so again the teacher said, in 1 month you will be able to read this book. Then I'll give you a bigger one, a bigger book, then a still bigger one. In time you will be more learned than anyone else in the village. Then no one will ever be able to laugh at you. People will listen to you with respect, and you will be able to speak without the slightest stammer. Understand? Now go home and come back early tomorrow morning. So the teacher said that when Bolly would complete the first book, she would be given a bigger book, and after that a still bigger one. So she also told her that one day she would become an educated person in the village, and people would respect her because of her knowledge and wisdom. So not only this, she would be able to speak clearly. So with this, she asked her to come to school early the next morning. Bholi felt as if suddenly all the bells in the village temple were ringing, and the trees in front of the house, small schoolhouse, had blossomed into big red flowers. Her heart was throbbing. What's the meaning, children? Throbbing, beating with a new hope and a new life. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, blossomed. You know what's the meaning of blossomed? Bloom. Then Holly became very happy. So her heart felt a rare type of happiness, and she imagined that she could hear the bells at the temple ringing, and she imagined that the trees outside the school had made her full of hope and happiness. So the trees outside the school had red colored flowers on them. Yes, had blossomed into big red flowers. Her heart was throbbing, her heart was beating with a new hope and a new life. So she felt a sudden beat in her heart that made her full of hope and happiness. She felt that she would get a new life. Okay, so her heart felt a rare type of happiness, and she imagined that she could hear the bells of the temple ringing, and imagined that the trees outside the school had a red colored flowers. See, here it is, children. The temple were ringing, the village temple, all the bells in the village temple were ringing, and the trees in front of her schoolhouse had blossomed into big red flowers. Thus years passed. The village became a small town, and the little primary school became a high school. There were now a cinema under a tin shed and a cotton ginning mill. The mail train began to stop at the railway station. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, what's going on there is the village became a small town. Yes, the village became a small town. It grew into a small town, and the primary school was now a high school. There was a cinema theater under a tin shed, and a cotton ginning mill opened in her town. Even the mail train started to stop at the village railway station. So, changes had been occurred in her village. One night after dinner, Ramlal said to his wife, then shall I accept Bishamber's proposal? Yes, certainly, his wife said. Boli will lucky to get such a well-to-do bridegroom, a big shop, a house of his own, and I hear several thousand in the bank. Moreover, he's not asking for any dowry. That's right, but he's not so young, almost the same age as I am, and he also limps Moreover, the children from his first wife are quite grown up. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, that night, Ramlal was discussing something with his wife. What's it, children? It was about a marriage proposal for Bholi. So, he asked his wife whether to accept Bishambar's proposal or not. So, his wife replied that they should definitely accept the proposal. What's the reason, children? It's suitable for Bholi. She supported her view by saying that Bishambar had a big shop on house and cash deposit in the bank too. But one important thing, what's that important thing? Moreover, he is not asking for any dowry. So he was not asking for any dowry. So they were very happy to accept the proposal. But Ramlal was a bit unsure about Bishambar. What's the reason, children? 2-3 reasons were there. Because Bishambar was of his own age and was handicapped. Have you seen the word, children? Limbs. Lame, Lame. So he was handicapped. What's the reason? He was not able to walk properly. Moreover, his children from his first wife are quite grown up. He had also grown up children from his first marriage. So, what does it matter? His wife replied, 45, 50, it's no great age for a man. We are lucky that he is from another village and does not know about her pockmarks and her lack of sense. If we don't accept this proposal, she may remain unmarried all her life. Yes, but I wonder, but what Bholi will say? What will that witless one say? She is like a dumb cow. Maybe you are right, muttered Ramlal. In the other corner of the courtyard, Bholi lay awake on her cot, listening to her parents' whispered conversation. Pockmarks, you know, what's the meaning of pockmarks? Yes, black spots on the skin. Then witless. What do you mean by witless? Witless means fool. Okay, so let's see the explanation. Then his wife, what does it matter? So, what does it matter? 45, 50, it's not a great age for man. We are lucky that he is from another village, does not know anything about her pockmarks and her lack of sense. So, what she is trying to say, children? Yes, his wife said that there was no harm in it. It's not a problem. It's if there was a big age gap in between Bholi and the groom, 40, 45, it's not a great age for a man. Then another one, she said that they could not find any other match for Bholi. What's the reason, children? Because she was not at all good looking and because of her lack of sense. It's not easy for finding a bridegroom for Bholi. So she says, we are lucky that he is from another village and he does not know anything about her pockmarks or her lack of sense. So if we don't accept this proposal, she may remain unmarried all her life. So yes, but I wonder what Bholi will say. So Ramlal said that he was worried that how Bholi would react to this. But her mother replied that Bholi was like a dumb cow. She would not say anything at all. She kept mum. Okay. So in the other corner of the courtyard, Bholi lay awake on her cot, listening. So Bholi was lying in her bed nearby and she was listening to her parents' conversation. Then Bishambarnath was a well-to-do grocer. He came with a big party of friends and relations with him for the wedding. A brass band playing a popular tune from an Indian film headed the procession, with the bridegroom riding a decorated horse. Ramlal was overjoyed to see such pomp and splendor. He had never dreamt that his fourth daughter would have such a grand wedding. Bholi's elder sisters who had come for the occasion were envious of her luck. Okay, so what happened there, children? Yes, that marriage, it had been fixed. Then what kind of a man was the bridegroom? Bishambarnath. Yes, Bishambarnath was a rich man. He had a grocery shop. You know what it is, grocery. A person who sells grocer means a person who sells household goods and food items. So he had a grocery shop where he used to sell food items and household goods. Then he had a good business. So on the wedding day, he came with his friends and family. They were accompanied by a brass band which was playing a popular tune from a Hindi movie, and the bridegroom was riding a decorated horse. So Ramlal was very happy to see all these because he had never dreamt of such a grand wedding function for his fourth daughter. As we know, she was not at all good looking and intelligent. So, Bholi's elder sisters felt jealous of her good luck. Or her good luck, not a good look, children, good luck. So, Bholi's elder sisters who had come for the occasion, they were envious. They felt jealous of her luck. When the auspicious moment came, the priest said, Bring the bride. Bholi, clad in a red silken bride dress, was led to the bride's place near the sacred fire. Garland the bride, one of his friends prompted Bishambanath. The bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigolds. A woman slipped back the silken veil from the bride's face. Bishamba took a quick glance. The garland remained poised in his hands. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, Bishamba. He was getting ready to marry Bholi. So, on that auspicious occasion, on that good occasion, or on that auspicious moment, the priest asked to bring the bride. Bholi, clad in a red silken bridal dress, she was dressed in a red silken bridal dress. Clad means dressed. So on the wedding day, Bholi was brought for the wedding rituals. She was dressed in a red silk sari, clad in a red silken bridal dress. So she was dressed in a red colored silk sari. And when she reached, one of Bishamba's friends asked him to garland the bride. What do you mean by children? Garland? Garland, you know. So one of his friends prompted Bishambanath for what, children? In order to garland the bride. So he asked one of his friends, one of Bishamba's friend asked him to put the garland over the bride's head. So as he was about to put the garland around her neck, a woman removed the veil that covered her face. You know, it's a ritual for the bride. What it is, children? A veil will be there to cover her face. So a woman removed the veil or the covering that covered her face. Then he saw the blemishes on her face. So what happened there, children? Bishamba took a quick glance. The garland remained poised in his hands. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. So what's going on there, children? Yes, he saw the pockmarks on her face. So at once, he rejected her to marry her. What did he do, children? Yes, the garland remained poised in his hands. He didn't put the garland around her neck. The bride Bholi slowly pulled down the veil over her face. Have you seen her? Said Bishamba to the friend next to him. She has pockmarks on her face. So what? You are not young either. So his friend, he asked his friend, have you seen her? She has pockmarks on her face. She has black marks on her face. Then his friend answered that he should ignore this. What's the reason, children? Because he was also not young. So Bishamba told Ramlal, maybe if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000 rupees. So did you get that, children? Yes, Bishamba, he told that he wanted 5,000 rupees in order to marry her. What's the reason, children? Because he had seen pockmarks on her face. So Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bishamba's feet. Do not humiliate me so. Take 2,000 rupees. No, 5,000 or we go back. Keep your daughter. Be a little considerate, please. If you go back, I can never show my face in the village. Then I would waste 5,000. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in, opened the safe and counted out the notes. He placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. So what's going on there, children? Yes. So on hearing the bridegroom's demand, what was the demand given by the bridegroom? Yes, he wanted 5,000 rupees. So Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bishamba's feet. So on hearing the bridegroom's demand, Ramlal was so upset. He got so upset that he went to him and kept his turban at his feet. Then what did he do, children? He requested him to be considerate. He requested him to think for a while. What's the reason, children? Yes, he was not ready to give the dowry of 5,000. Ramlal was not ready to give the 5,000 to Bishamba. What's the reason, children? Yes, Bishamba, he was firm and he said that he could keep his daughter at home then. So at last Ramlal requested him. By how, children? Yes, Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor at Bishamba's feet. Do not humiliate me so. Do not insult me. Take 2,000 rupees. No, 5,000. Or we go back. Keep your daughter with you. Be a little considerate, please. If you go back, I can never show my face in the village. So Ramlal, what did he do, children? Yes, Ramlal requested him, but Bishamba was not at all ready to accept the offer of 2,000 rupees. So, what's the reason Bishamba was so adamant on his demand of 5,000 rupees? So, Ramlal went inside and brought 5,000 rupees from the safe, counted the money, and handed it over to Bishamba. By how, children? Yes, he placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. On Bishamba's greedy face appeared a triumphant smile. He had gambled and won. Give me the garland, he announced. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, Bishamba, he was getting ready to marry Bholi. So, once again, the veil was slipped back from the bride's face, but this time her eyes were not downcast. What is the meaning, children? Downcast? Low down, cast down. She was not looking down. So once again, the veil was slipped back. The veil was moved back from the bride's face. But this time, her eyes were not downcast. This time, she was not looking down. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband. What's the meaning prospective? Would be. So this time, for the second time, when the veil was moved back from the bride's face, she was looking straight at her would-be, or she was looking at her prospective husband. And in her eyes, there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. So this time, in her eyes, we could see only contempt. What do you mean by contempt? Disrespect. Okay. So Bishamba raised the garland to place it round the bride's neck. But before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning, and the garland was flung into the air. She got up and threw away the veil. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, Bholi was not at all ready to marry Bishamba. So, what she was trying to do there, children? Yes, she removed the cover of her face and stared at Bishamba. Her eyes were full of disrespect for him. There was no anger or hatred in her eyes. Then, as Bishamba was about to garland her, she struck her hand at the garland as quick as a streak of lightning. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, when he was about to put the garland around his neck, what did she do with that garland, children? Yes, she struck it out, and the garland was flung into the fire. A sacred fire was there, so the garland fell into the fire. Then she got up from her seat and threw away the veil also. Pitaji, said Bholi in a clear voice. Her father, mother, sisters, brothers, relations, neighbors were startled to hear her speak without even the slightest stammer. Pitaji, take back your money. I'm not going to marry this man. So what's going on there, children? Yes, when she got up from her seat, she called her father, Pitaji, take back your money. I'm not going to marry this man. Everybody. Her voice was very clear. She spoke without stammering. Everybody, her father, mother, sisters, brothers, the whole people were shocked to see this. So she continued and said that her father should take back his money as she was not agreeing to marry this man. Pidaji, take back your money. I'm not going to marry this man. Ramlal was thunderstruck. The gusts began to whisper. What's the meaning, children? Thunderstruck, shocked, stunned. Ramlal was shocked to hear that. The gusts began to whisper, so shameless, so ugly, so shameless. So what's going on there, children? Yes, the Gus began to mutter something. So, what is going on there, children? It's not so happened in a marriage function. So shameless, so ugly. Bholi, are you crazy? So, Bholi, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. You want to disgrace your family. Have some regard for your Izzat. So, what is going on there, children? Yes, her father, Ramlal, was shocked to hear all that. Even the relatives, the guests, started to whisper that the girl was shameless as she was refusing to the marriage. Ramlal grew angry and he shouted at Bholi that she had gone mad because such an act of her could bring disgrace to their family. So Bholi replied, "For the sake of your izzat, I was willing to marry this lame old man. But I will not have such a mean, greedy, contemptible coward as my husband. I won, I won, I won." So Bholi replied to her father that it was for the sake of her family's honor that she agreed to marry that lame old man. But now she was not ready to marry a greedy coward. So she told that he was a mean, greedy, contemptible coward. So she was not getting ready to marry this contemptible coward. What a shameless girl. We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. Polly turned violently on the older woman. "Yes, Andy, you are right. You all thought I was a dumb driven cow. That's why you wanted to hand me over to this heartless creature. But now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more?" Bishambadnath, the grocer, started to go back with his party. The confused bandsman thought this was the end of the ceremony and struck up a closing song. So what's going on there, children? An older woman commented something. What was it? "What a shameless girl. We all thought that she was a harmless dumb cow." So an older woman commented that Bholi was a shameless girl, though they all thought that she was a dull and innocent girl. So Bholi looked at her with extreme anger. Bholi heard it clearly. So what did she do, children? Yes, she turned violently to the older woman. Then, "Yes, auntie, you are right." So Polly looked at her with extreme anger, said that, "Yes, you're right. She was a fool. That's why she wanted to marry. That's why they wanted to marry her off to an unkind man. Now I'm not a dumb cow." So, yes, everybody thought that she was a dumb cow. She was a stammering fool. And now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. "Do you want to hear more?" So she became very angry, and with extreme anger, she said that everyone thought that she was a fool, and that's why they wanted to marry her off to an unkind man. Then they called her shameless because she could take a stand of her. Vishambanath and her friends, that his friends and families started to return. The bandsmen, they were not sure of what was happening there. So what did they do, children? Is they thought that the marriage ceremony had completed, and so they started playing the music related to the ending of a wedding ceremony. Ramlal stood rooted to the ground, his head bowed low with the weight of the grief and shame. The flames of the sacred fire slowly died down. Everyone was gone. Ramlal turned to Bholi and said, "But what about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you?" So Ramlal, he was in deep sorrow. What's the reason, children? Because he was so ashamed. He was feeling so ashamed. He was feeling ashamed. His head bowed low with the weight of grief and shame. So he was in deep sorrow, and at the same time he was feeling ashamed. Then the flames of the sacred fire died, and after some time the Gus also went away. At last, when they were alone, Ramlal asked Bholi, "What's it, children? But what about you? No one will ever marry you, no. What shall we do with you?" So he asked Bholi, "Who would marry her then?" So Bholi, "Sulekha," said in a voice that was calm and steady. "Don't you worry, Pidaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school where I learned so much. Isn't that right, ma'am?" So what is going on there, children? Yes, Bholi. She was very calm. Sulekha. See, it's written in Sulekha, not Bholi. What's it, children? Sulekha said in a voice. She was so calm, and her voice was very calm and steady. Don't worry, Pidaji. In your old age, I will serve you. I will look after you and mother. And I will teach in the same school where I learned so much. So, what is going on there, children? Yes, Polly replied that she would take care of both her parents and she would teach in the same school that made her learn so much. Then, isn't that right, ma'am? To whom she asked this question, children? Yes, she asked this question to her teacher. Yes, the teacher, her affectionate teacher. She had all alone stood in a corner watching the drama. So, her teacher was there. So, what did she do with her teacher? Yes, she sought approval from her teacher that was quietly watching all the drama. Her teacher, she was standing there in the corner watching all the drama that had happened there. Then the teacher replied, Yes, Bholi, of course you are right. Of course you are right. And in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. So, what is actually going on there, children? Yes, we have come to the concluding part of our lesson. So, what's going on there, children? Yes, Bholi's teacher. Here, in this critic situation, her teacher encouraged her by saying that she was right. Yes, Bholi, of course. And in her smiling eyes, in her teacher's smiling eyes, was the light of a deep satisfaction. So, her teacher was deeply satisfied with Bholi's response. So, she was very happy to see her response. She was very happy to see Bholi's approach to her father. So, her father asked her one question. What about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you? So, Sulekha said in a voice that was calm and steady, Don't worry, Pidaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school here when I learned so much. So, her teacher, Bholi's teacher, she was standing alone in that corner. She was deeply satisfied with Bholi's response to her father. So it was similar to the way that an artist feels when he sees his masterpiece once it is complete. Did you get the last sentence, children? Yes, contemplating means observing. Have you seen the word, the last line, second last line, contemplating? So she was in a mood, or she was in a mood of deep satisfaction. Her teacher was in a deep satisfaction, just like an artist feels when he was observing the completion of his masterpiece. Okay, so the teacher, she became very happy to see Bholi. Huh? She was very happy to hear the problem that she solved, that Bholi solved. Children, have you noticed one thing? In the beginning, in the first two paragraphs, Bholi was written as Sulekha. And when it comes to the concluding paragraphs, there also. Have you seen that? Yes, in the second last paragraph, instead of Bholi, it's written Sulekha. What's the reason, children? Think it about and find out the answer. Okay, so in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. So her teacher was deeply satisfied with her smiling eyes. What she was doing there, children? Yes, just like an artist feels that feeling that when he was observing the completion of his or her masterpiece. So the teacher was so happy to hear her words. So she was completely agreeing to Bholi. Okay, so that is what is the conclusion of our story, children. Don't forget, you have to watch the video and read the lesson thoroughly. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.